Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit of the Sun. The transit Sun is in a square with the natal Sun. How the transit Sun will behave in a square with the natal Sun depends on the position of the natal Sun. This transit can be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect with your natal Sun. But the basics are as follows. When the transit Sun is in a square with the natal Sun, we get a period of tension and potential conflict. A period of changing circumstances in which you will have to be assertive in response to challenges. Assertive, precisely because the 10th Sun represents a crisis of self-confidence due to challenges from events or other people, most often from men or bosses, teachers, etc. During these 2 to 3 days you will feel full of energy and focused on action, which is positive. However, you will encounter obstacles on your way, but due to the excess energy you will feel able to overcome them. Most often you will be right. However, as the ego becomes overactive during this time, be careful with illusions, because after you overcome a few obstacles, the ego will begin to convince you that you are invincible, that nothing can stop you. The key here is to remember that we are all limited by our skills and knowledge, aspects that the ego often ignores. The transiting Sun square the Sun will highlight challenges with your ego and identity, causing you to experience increased competition, conflict, and tension. Individuals will feel as if something is preventing them from expressing themselves freely. Others will misunderstand them, and they will feel limited and believe that they cannot be authentic. The transit itself challenges ego, identity, and personal expression, pushing us to confront our patterns and make conscious decisions. It tests you and your goals, forcing you to justify your identity and what you do, so you will have to try a little harder than usual. Your ego is on the line, under pressure from others through arguments or challenging your authority. Your ego clashing with those around you is often a sign that you feel like you have no control over your own life. What this transit also exacerbates are existing problems you have with the people around you in your life. The tension you feel should not be ignored. Focus on what is causing it and ask yourself how you can deal with yourself more effectively in conflict. If you do not feel fully connected to your ego, expressing yourself will not be easy. You will overcompensate because of your feelings of insecurity, allowing your ego to get the better of you. If you are feeling tension with a particular person, try to get to the root of the problem without escalating the conflict. You are currently able to turn obstacles in your path into positive energy, but only if you view them as learning experiences. As we have already stated, this transit often brings ego conflicts, either with oneself or with others. It is a time when you are forced to look at the parts of your identity that do not match who you want to be. The challenge lies precisely in recognizing these discrepancies without letting them overwhelm you. Individuals will find it difficult to express themselves freely and will feel that their usual ways of expressing themselves are stifled or misunderstood. This is a quick transit that happens twice a year, about 3 months before and 3 months after your birthday. The days surrounding this transit will illuminate the key issues underlying any difficulties you have faced in achieving your aspirations. Pay attention to anything in your environment that indicates a need for repair or modification, and make sure you take direct action to address those issues as soon as possible. By accepting the change, you will reduce resistance and allow some of the tension to ease. This requires patience with yourself and others, and understanding that growth often comes from discomfort. When you find a balance between your needs and the needs of those around you, you will alleviate the stress that comes with this transit. If you have a reaction, others will see you as too intrusive, and that you want to impose your will on them. This is not a good time to get your way, certainly not if you want to maintain harmony in important relationships. On the other hand, being overly assertive will also upset others and cause additional pressure on you. Either way, it is important to be aware and ask yourself what is causing your tension and resistance, their actions or your reactions. It is easy to blame others, but ultimately, the only thing you can control is your reaction to the world. As Jean-Paul Sartre said, freedom is to match what you do with what is done to you. Therefore, the way others behave should not dictate how you feel. Instead, focus on cultivating a sense of inner peace and resilience, and try to notice any constructive insights that you can use to become more effective without losing confidence in your ability to ultimately succeed.